The Universal Education Center's safety instructor, Professor Veltar, had seen many species in her 3 decades of teaching. The crystalline Zephyrians who could shatter from minor vibrations, the gaseous nebulans who required constant atmospheric monitoring, and the delicate thornlings whose exoskeletons cracked under the slightest pressure. But today marked her first encounter with a human exchange student. Maya Rodriguez sat in the center of the amphitheater, surrounded by 23 alien students who regarded her with a mixture of curiosity and barely concealed terror. Word had spread throughout the station about the new arrival from Earth, a Class 12 death world that most civilized species avoided even in their nightmares. Today we will conduct our standard safety orientation, Professor Veltar announced, her 4 arms gesturing toward the holographic display. We'll begin with atmospheric hazard recognition. The first simulation materialized. A room where oxygen levels had dropped to 18%. Around Maya, the alien students immediately activated their emergency breathing apparatus, their various respiratory systems whirring and clicking with mechanical precision. Maya simply sat there, breathing normally. "Excuse me." Professor Veltar's voice carried a note of concern. "Student Rodriguez, your oxygen saturation is critically low. Please activate your emergency systems." Maya looked around at her panicked classmates. "Oh, this is fine. My planet's atmosphere is about 21% oxygen normally. 18% is like being at moderate altitude. I could run a marathon in this." The Zephyrian student beside her began vibrating with distress, creating a sound like wind chimes in a hurricane. How are you still conscious?" The second simulation began. Temperature regulation. The environmental controls shifted to simulate a scorching 45 degrees Celsius. Cooling units hummed to life as students activated their thermal protection suits. The nebulans retreated into their containment fields while the thornlings began secreting emergency heat dispersal fluids. Maya unzipped her jacket. "Student Rodriguez," Professor Veltar's voice had risen an octave. "The temperature has reached levels that would cause immediate cellular damage to most life forms." "Yeah, it's pretty warm," Maya agreed, tying her jacket around her waist. "Reminds me of summer back in Arizona. Though it's a bit humid. Is the air conditioning broken?" A collective gasp rippled through the classroom, or rather, the alien equivalent of gasps, which ranged from high-pitched whistles to concerned gurgling sounds. The third simulation commenced, toxic substance exposure. The air shimmered as it filled with compounds that would cause immediate respiratory distress in most species. Emergency filters activated throughout the room, and several students began administering preventative medications to themselves. Maya sniffed the air experimentally. "Huh. Smells like bleach and, is that ammonia? My grandmother used to clean with this stuff. Though I probably shouldn't breathe too much of it." Professor Veltar's tertiary arms began twitching, a sign of severe stress in her species. How is this possible? Your species survives in such conditions?" "Well, not the ammonia thing regularly," Maya clarified. "But humans are pretty adaptable. We live everywhere from frozen tundra to scorching deserts. Some of us even live underwater for extended periods. Our planet tried really hard to kill us for millions of years, so we got pretty good at not dying." The final simulation began, physical hazard assessment. A heavy object weighing approximately 50 kilograms suddenly dropped from the ceiling. Around the room, students activated energy shields, force fields, and various protective barriers. Maya simply stepped aside and caught the object with one hand. The silence that followed was deafening. I think we need to revise our curriculum," Professor Veltar whispered, her voice barely audible. "Perhaps we should be asking student Rodriguez to teach us about survival instead." Maya looked around at her new classmates, all of whom were staring at her with expressions that ranged from awe to existential terror. "I mean, I'm happy to help. Though honestly, what you guys call extreme hazards are pretty much just Tuesday for humans." From that day forward, the Universal Education Center's safety protocols included a new classification, Deathworlders safe, which meant conditions so extreme that only species from Class 12 worlds could survive them. Maya became quite popular, though most of her classmates continued to watch her from a very safe distance.